안녕하세요. This is Rita, aka Fàn Lǎoshī, your accent coach and Chinese teacher. Has anyone here never heard of BLACKPINK? I really doubt. Being the most worldwide successful K-pop girl group, they were on Coachella, had their world tour, and their music videos got billions of views on YouTube. I still remember when I was at an international music industry conference in Cannes, France, back in 2019. Everyone was talking about them. What makes BLACKPINK from other girl groups is that the members are super international, and there are so many different factors in their music and so much creativity in their music videos that it's really hard to define their style or genre. And when we talk about language abilities, the Thai member Lisa is especially outstanding. So let's see how good her Chinese is today. But make sure you subscribe to this channel first so you don't miss out on any Mandarin learning tips that you won't find anywhere else. 订阅了吗? Let's go. First off, it seems the 4 members of BLINK all speak Mandarin, more or less. 我喜欢你，非常有用, super useful. And her pronunciation sounds really good. 我喜欢你。And Jenny，
我的笑容很可爱，我的笑容很可爱。
Well, despite the tones, her pronunciation was pretty good and super cute. Seems Jenny really likes puppies.
我们快想去中国，我们想快去中国。
Yeah. Okay.
我叫蔡依，爸爸妈妈身体好吗？
I don't know how much Mandarin she really speaks, but that single sentence just sounds perfect.
爸爸妈妈身体好吗？
Obviously, she has said it probably 100 times.
你爸爸妈妈身体好吗？你爸爸妈妈身体好吗？
It's just perfect.
谢谢，我爱你。
我爱你. Let's get the tones right. 我爱你，我爱你. So Lisa speaks Thai, obviously, Korean as training for years in South Korea, and great English, and a little bit Japanese. And the group is coming back this month, but over the past 2 years, Lisa dropped 2 solo songs. And she went on one of the most viewed pop idol making shows in China, 青春有你 as the dance mentor. And we're gonna see her speaking Chinese in the show now. She's so cute.
青春追着人们，你们好，我是 Lisa。
Wow, that sounds super fluent. And I heard some really impressive sound in 青
春
and the compound vowel 熬 in 好.
好
Which could be super challenging for a lot of Mandarin learners. And the R sound is always a headache in a lot of languages because they are all pretty different sounds.
人们
And as we all know, in Japanese, there is not really a R sound, but instead it's L. So 人 or the word 日本人 or the basic sentence 我是日本人 could be challenging for Japanese learners. And the z versus zh and n versus n can be confusing for some Mandarin learners. But it's pretty common in some Chinese dialect accents where people don't really differentiate these 2 group of sounds. So it shouldn't be a problem for natives to understand 制作 or 制作, 人们 or 人盟.
这次我会带着青春有你第2季成为你们的导师。
Alright, because she spoke quite fluently, so let's slow down and see if we can hear something.
这次我会带着青春有你第2季成为你们的导师。
导师. Wow, 导师 was perfect. And I also heard perfect G sound in 季.
第2季
The H in 会 was a little bit too aspirated, but that's not a big deal.
会
And the U in the middle of 会 hui, as well as the ending sound of ru, could be a bit clearer. But I'm just being a super nitpicking here. So I hope her fans will forgive me. And the ch sound in cheng sounds like Korean to me for some reason, like cheng. Maybe because it's a bit more aspirated here. If any of you speak good Korean, please let me know what you think the difference from Mandarin is in the comments. Alright, despite the minor errors, her tones sound so natural. Is it some positive transfer from her mother tongue? Now I'm curious. Let's see what the tones in Thai sound like. Alright, so let's listen to the Thai tones. Kai. And that's low tone. Kai. Bye. And that's mid tone.
Krap.
What? Krap? How many consonants are there?
Krap.
Krap? Okay, that sounds like a rising tone, but maybe higher than the second tone in Chinese.
Nang.
And the rising tone sounds more like the so-called dipping tone, the full third tone in Chinese. And the last one is a falling tone. Is it like the fourth tone in Chinese?
Chai.
So there's a slight rising and then the falling tone contour.
Chai.
There is this chart of the 5 tones in Thai. It seems that there are no level/flat tones, i.e. the pitch for each tone changes a little bit, either rising or falling. And there are a lot of nasal ending sounds like or and the vowels tend to have lower tongue positions compared with Chinese, I think, if I don't understand it wrong. So when I think about Thai, it'd be like a lot of ein or ang sounds. So many people think if a Mandarin learner's native language is a tonal language like Thai or Vietnamese, it'd be a lot easier for them to learn Mandarin Chinese tones. But there's a term called negative transfer in second language acquisition, which means language learners' learning process can be affected by their native language a lot. And sometimes things you think you know or the similarities between your native language and the target language can be a bigger problem because we tend to focus more on the differences first. So it's not so helpful when the tones seem similar in another tonal language, and it's more likely to cause a foreign accent easily. It's just no less challenging to reach to a native sounding level for any language learner. But anyone can definitely hone your Chinese tones and voice from scratch in my Chinese pronunciation course. Alright, let's continue.
有信心当好导师吗？
信心这么大，Lisa 加油！
The GCC sounds can be super challenging for a lot of learners, English speakers in particular. But her xi and ji were spot on. Like 信心, super clear.
信心
And 加油.
加油！
She said 加油 a lot in the show to encourage the contestants or trainees, and she nailed it every time.
加油！加油！
Okay, here's something I want to talk a bit more to Mandarin learners. When emphasizing certain words in sentences, that's how we really talk in real life with real humans. Tones can go off easily in a lot of cases because there's a pretty different mechanism for stressed words in Mandarin Chinese, and it also has a huge influence on our speaking rhythm and intonations, which is what the students in my Finding Your Mandarin Voice pronunciation program work on after they build up a solid foundation for individual vowels and consonants with accurate tones. And you still can join the 300 members with lifetime access now. 加油！
然后我想要教 Lisa 老师
Ella
拽这个字要怎么念？
拽
四川话要怎么说？你好拽哦！
你好拽哦！
好拽哦！
你好拽哦！
That's amazing! Wow!
好
轩
Yeah.
轩
Oh, that's different.
What? Is that different?
Yes, they are different. So the fourth tone versus the first tone can be confusing sometimes because they all start with a high pitch. And with the compound vowel yuan or the syllable xuan, it could be even harder. Xuan, 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 xuan. Got it? And last year, Lisa was on season 3 of 青春有你, where they were picking up a new boy idol group. And I think Lisa's Mandarin definitely improved after a year.
So today you don't have to call me 老师。
老师，
那我们要教什么呢？叫萨姐。
大姐。
为什么我姐？
Wow, the tones are definitely impressive. It could be better to add a 是。为什么我是姐？为什么我是姐？ But the full third tone is perfect. 姐. And the intonation is spot on.
姐。So call me 姐姐，她姐姐 ，OK？
小姐姐。
萨姐。
She's so
家里
cute.
老师猜一下。
1998。
他是不是有看过那个资料表啊？
Call me 萨姐 ，OK？Except 刘俊 ，You can call me Lisa。
刘俊 sounds
Hello
great.
Lisa。
莎莎，你好莎莎。
你们有意思吗？
I'm not sure what she meant here, because 你们有意思吗 means are you interesting? If you wanna ask, are you having fun? You can ask, 你们玩得开心吗？你们过得开心吗？
It's a special guest.
Alright.
I want to represent you guys.
谁呀？
谁呀
That's perfect. The tones, the pronunciation, and the intonation. 谁呀? And also the tonal particle at the end. 呀,谁呀? And that's a perfect second tone. 谁呀? Kitty. 小猫吗？
好可爱啊！
你们你好，
你们好。You
我
can say.
叫 Lego。跟妈咪亲亲。
妈咪亲亲。
妈咪没有亲亲。
So I definitely heard more conversation here, and her intonation just sounds even better. Note that when we talk about a language speaker's pronunciation, it's not only about the individual sounds, i.e. tones, vowels, or consonants, but also how we connect and reduce the sounds. And also if they can express emotions and stress the words like how natives do. I really like the Netflix documentary of BLACKPINK, Light Up the Sky, because you can really see how hard the girls practice and work for their dreams behind the scene and off the stage, which is numerous repetition for singing and dancing. And it's quite similar with how we learn a language. Once you know the right way to do it, check out my website and join 300 members, then just repeat and repeat 100 times until you don't need to think about it. Anyways, let me know whose 普通话 you want me to analyze next. And remember, with Fàn Lǎoshī, Chinese makes perfect sense. See you in the next video.